Hello, hello. Welcome yet again. Um, we're gonna just hit the ground running. I did think on whether I wanted to really go live, 2 nights in a row, but hey, I'm feeling dangerous. Let's just do what they do. I have up above me as I look. There's about one, two, three, four, five, at least five things that I do want to share. And I remember that I played the from the Awakening with JP channel content where the 1992 Democrat wakes up in current day 2024, and for whatever reason, it was really good evening to you, White Dragon, sir. Very prompt, very proper. Saffron, fantastic to see you. I got to be honest, for a while I was a little worried because I didn't see you for a bit, but with a bit of reflection, most likely on me, as I am scattered and all over the place. So I'm just relieved to see it, and I hope you're doing super well. And I extend that to you, your family. I hope everybody is doing fantastic. So, real quick, I think instead of ending on a comedic note, and I am doing a follow up on a few of the things that was discussed last night. I wanted to show the entirety of that skit of Awakening with JP. So if you'll bear with me, sorry that it's kind of a repeat, but I wanted to show the entirety of it so you get some full appreciation and maybe a few laughs, dare I say. So thankfully, here it goes. Of course, you're going to see my little ghetto rig where I put the speaker up to the mic. It doesn't get much better than that. And we're off. Let me just start with this before I start ranting on about everything else. And there was a topic I wanted to just do a whole thing on, but I did get in touch with a lot of you that are interested in joining us all for a live. Thank you for that energy, and I'm looking forward to us doing just that. So, without further ado, since this is not being monetized, all I say is please support Awaken with JP's channel. It's fantastic, it's hilarious. Let's check it out in its entirety.
There. That looks pretty good.
Whoa.
Are you from the IRS?
No, I'm Brent.
Oh. Where'd you come from, dude?
I'm not sure, man. I don't know if you've heard of it yet, but I just got a CD player and I put a Nirvana CD in it and I hit play and then this light washed over me and now I'm here.
Wait, CD player? What year do you think it is?
How do you not know what year it is? It's 1992, duh. Cowabunga, man.
1992? Wow, you're from the past. Here is 2023.
What the hell? I'm in the future?
Well, technically you're in the present, but relative to your point of reference, yes, just go ahead and think of yourself as being in the future.
This is so trippy. Does Bill Clinton know about this?
Well, since you're here, want to hang?
Great,
For
segue.
sure. Booyah! This place is da bomb.
1992. Now that was a good year. Vanilla Ice. Am I right?
Oh man, I love him. Ice, ice, baby.
We call it this
And you
part.
can tell with his talent, that's probably going to be the first of many hits.
Yeah, I bet. So what are you into, man?
Oh man, I'm into a lot of stuff. I love rollerblading, hacky sacks, Game Boy Color, the Seattle Supersonics, and I'm super into politics.
Dude, I love all those things too. Except instead of rollerblading, I'm into what's called pickleball. It's our modern day version of
We're gonna bring
rollerblading.
it back, guys.
It's like a cross
Promise.
between tennis and being gay. It's pretty cool. But politics, you a Democrat or a Republican?
Oh, I'm a Democrat through and through, home skillet. I just hate how the conservative right is always trying to get us into war. I'm very anti-war, and the right just wants us in war, and they want to keep us in war. It's disgusting.
I don't think you're a Democrat.
What do you mean, dog?
Well, nowadays the political roles have kind of reversed. In 2023, the left is all about starting wars, and the right has become the anti-war side.
I
That's
do
super
want to.
weird.
I want to think on real quick. Like this guy's supposed to be embodying like the 1992, I guess, white guy that was getting into hip hop as I remember 92 well enough, and it was a very strange, wild time where everybody was finding their own unique style. Hell, crisscross was relevant. I remember once I accidentally went to elementary school, second grade, with my jeans on backwards, and the day was saved because crisscross was happening. And when people were laughing at me, they're like, "Oh wait, you're into crisscross?" Or I'm like, "Oh yeah, 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 totally. That's why my pants are on backwards. Crisscross all the way." But let's look at like speed to current day. What does that look like? I guess saying it in plain English, the white guy that's showing his love for hip hop compared to what it looked like in '92. I think in '92 it had more of like an actual African flair. I'm thinking of, and this is one of those songs that doesn't have any actual words. I think was this a Canadian guy? What I'm gonna try to sit here and sing it. Boom, 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 da. Remember that guy? So yeah, I remember like a lot of the white dudes just wearing crazy like Kwanzaa like clothing, and that was their style. And now, well, I don't know what that looks like. I mean, I deal with every demographic this day and age, especially selling booze and pickles and dildos and all. But yeah, I don't know. Has it I would I'd love to hear anybody else's opinion on the evolution of the white guy that really loves hip hop and wants to make that his identity. Okay, so back to the skit because I did want to play it in full.
So I think you're actually a Republican now.
That can't be. I could never be on the right. The way that conservatives try to infringe on your freedom of speech, I could never dissociate with a group like that.
That's changed too, buddy.
What?
Very
Yeah,
accurate.
now it's the left that's trying to take away free speech. They've got a whole censorship machine behind them.
Wait, liberals are against free speech now?
Sure are.
So,
And it's the
yeah,
right that's passionately
yeah,
trying
then-
to keep free speech.
That's the
How could the
FBI
left
helping.
just abandon our principles on something that big?
Man, the world's gotten crazy, bro. I think you're a Republican.
There's no way. I could never be one of those greedy Republicans that just smothers this country with their corporate industrial complex agenda. How can those idiots be so loyal to corporations that are just using them to increase their profits and further their control? Damn, that too?
Yep.
I mean, how could so many bleeding heart liberals just change directions like that? You know what? I don't really believe you on this one. Because liberals are so principled on corporate rebellion, we blast Rage Against the Machine all the time to show how much we care about fighting against the system that entraps us.
Rage Against the Machine?
So he alludes to Rage Against the Machine like going MAGA or something. Now, I have to look this up, but is this true? Like, did Rage Against the Machine go conservative? I'm pretty sure the last time I heard they were still raging against Trump, but I haven't looked that up quite some time. Matter of fact, last time I did, Trump was still in office. I don't know how that's changed, but stranger things are happening every day.
Fuck them too?
Yeah.
Man, this is confusing. But honestly, I can't be a Republican. I've never been one, and I never will be.
Let me ask you a question.
So too, I thought.
How do you feel about racial discrimination?
Well, obviously, as a Democrat, I think it's wrong. No one should ever be discriminated against for their race.
So would you agree that promoting policies that give some people opportunities based on the color of their skin while withholding opportunities from other people based on the color of their skin is wrong?
Of course it's wrong. Above all else, that's why I'll never be a Republican. Those discriminating bastards can eat my shorts. What? That too? Oh.
I think you're a conservative, dude.
Yeah, I'm probably a conservative.
It's good to come out of the closet.
I think from now on, instead of like going through the very tired dialogue of, yeah, I was pushed away from being a Democrat, to just showing this video anytime that comes into question.
But it's so weird. Like I haven't changed at all personally, but now my political affiliation is the complete opposite. I don't understand. It's so confusing. I mean, I appear here in the future and I learn that my group has become exactly what my group despises, all because I hit play on my favorite Nirvana album.
Oh, do you know what happened to Kurt Cobain yet?
What happened to Kurt Cobain?
Nothing, man. I think you've had enough for one day.
Okay.
Now, here's the part we didn't get to see yesterday because I only had 2 brief clips. This is probably my favorite.
And how am I going to get home?
You don't need to worry about that.
Why is that?
I'm just gonna take you out back.
Oh, for what? Do you have some Crystal Pepsi?
Well, you illegally entered my home. Texans don't stand for that, bro. This isn't California where you can just break into someone's house and expect to get away with it.
Wait, you're allowed to break and enter in California now?
Yeah, they encourage it.
What? Are they insane?
Pretty much. But this is Texas.
Texas? Well, some things never change. Yeah.
That's so true. Now let's go out back, intruder.
I love rollerblading, hot pockets.
I like how in the beginning he's like, "Are you an IRS agent?" And he was ready to take his piece out right then and there. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to complete that one. Now, I have kind of a eeny, meeny, miny, mo situation, and H squared. Oh my God, hello, hello. All is. Saffron. Let me read since I'm catching up here. All is very well in my realm. I would not have any other way. I have other things to do. So, of course, of course. Kind of notice my absences. Are you engaged? Uh, YouTube is something that it's not really at the top of my priorities anymore. It's become a strange place, but regardless, I will never surrender my voice. And thanks for sticking it out, by the way. Here's something that I am just absolutely baffled by. This one is actually, I don't know. I'm just gonna say this one was rage-inducing, and how anybody can watch this very content, this interview, and think anything other than this is dishonest. This is, borderline evil, narcissistic, outright selfish. This is just a quick clip from Pauly Shore, NCO man from way back when. He's got himself a podcast now. He's got this guest here, the guy in the middle who just looks at the camera a lot. That's his co-host. So this is a trans woman, man that turned into a woman, and this is honestly one of the most disturbing things I've heard in 2024. And remember, I watched that 3-hour interview with Cat Williams on Club Shay's channel. This shit is crazy right here. What this person straight up says, and even goes so far as to encourage this behavior, and gets a whole round of "yes, good for you, queen." So get ready. I would love to know how anybody feels about this. It's just outright blatant dishonesty.
So I met you at Earth Cafe and we started talking, and then you told me that eventually at some point you were trans. How often have you said that to someone and then they're like spatch, meaning like they're not into it?
Yeah.
Meaning like, oh my God, like I didn't know.
Disclosing it is challenging when to do it. And I usually wait until after the first date.
Yeah.
But previously I lived stealth where I would date.
You lived what?
Stealth, where it's like I would live as a cis woman.
Hmm.
And I've had guys like eat me out and like have sex with me for like 2 months. And then I'm like, shit, I need to tell them
That's
because
hilarious.
they're catching feelings. And they'd be like pissed off, like, wait, am I gay? And I'm like, you've been eating me out for 2 months and had no idea. You're not
Wow.
gay.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know what you are, dog.
Like-
You're into it, that's for sure.
But it would be devastating for them. So I stopped doing that. And also, it's very harmful and dangerous for trans women when we do disclose, especially after sex, because men automatically.
Okay, so this man by the name of Billy Lee is straight up saying that he no longer discloses to sexual partners that he is a man. And why? Because he fears for his safety. Now, I guess on some degree, I understand the generic fear of safety. I mean, hell, who wouldn't be pissed off if you literally dupe somebody into screwing the gender that they're not attracted to? I mean, there should be a law for that, I think, honestly. I mean, would that be considered too anti-woke to have a law that makes people disclose their gender? I don't think that that's disrespectful. If you want to get on the playing field of speaking the truth, let's start with the truth from the get-go. So this is just insane to me. Sitting there just letting men have sex with this person as a man and not even telling them. So observe how the rest plays out and how this useless co-host who just does these Bill Cosby like movements with his face when he looks at the camera and adds the most useless information ever has to say about this admission. And I'm surprised. Shame on you, Pauly Shore, for not taking this opportunity on your show to call this shit out. I wonder, and how much paranoia is this gonna just put into your everyday man out there, like the real, I don't know, cisgender heterosexual men. Now we're gonna be extra paranoid, for the love of God.
Automatically think that they're gay or they were taken advantage of in some way.
It is
Taken
pretty
advantage
crazy
of.
for you guys to have to deal with that when you have to tell someone about yourself.
I still think it should be on the trans woman's terms, when they're comfortable doing it. But for safety, for me, I definitely try to do it as soon as
Early
possible.
on, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation where
Yes.
the dude got violent
Well, I was dating
after
a guy.
you told him?
I was dating a guy for
And
6
what type of
months.
guys do you like?
Straight guys, obviously.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but I mean, do you
Pretty
like
much.
Asians?
yeah, all different
or-
type.
I
didn't get this
I'm
far.
super open-minded. I've dated a couple trans men before, but I dated someone for
You
6
dated
months.
someone that was a dude or a chick that became a dude?
Yes.
Or you dated someone that was a chick that became a dude?
Yeah.
That's hot. That's a TV show.
Yeah,
Fuck.
they both were really hot
That's
too.
a
Actually,
good-
yeah.
What?
They were really hot.
Oh my god, that's
When
awesome.
you've told some people,
Dude, that's a fucking sitcom, bro.
when you've told some people where they're like, "Holy shit!" All right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, some people are cool with it. I've noticed in the comedy world, a lot of dudes are especially comedians are I don't give a fuck.
After this, can I get
Yeah.
a list of names, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you know what? I think your list is gonna match my list. If I have
Yeah.
to guess.
Wait, what?
That's hilarious. I think we got a lot of stuff. Yeah, we really spoke a lot. So let's talk about your TV show. This is a big reality show.
Yeah.
It's on Bravo.
Okay.
Tell me about
I'm
that.
not interested in the TV show. So I think that's absolutely irresponsible, borderline evil, completely dishonest, gross. And just man, having a platform means you have an opportunity to say something right then and there. And I think Pauly Shore's entire little podcast would have seen much more success had he said something. How can it just be glazed over? This is a man fooling other men into having intercourse and every other kind of sexual activity that can possibly happen and not telling them, all because of their selfish fear. How about just putting it all on the table and you wouldn't have to have that fear or concern? Jeez, man. Oh boy. Yeah, no, I think Pauly Shore at this point is just all about, I guess he's just pandering, man. Just pandering. Okay, so what I got here is this is Politicon from 2018, and I found Charlie Kirk and Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker is somebody who I used to root for way back in the Bernie Sanders days, right? Can't stand him now. Charlie Kirk is somebody that's slowly grown on me because of how the whole dynamic has changed, of course. So this one's interesting. I mean, this is old. This one is very old news, but Charlie Kirk went freaking ham because Cenk Uygur, someone who was a total betrayal to the progressives of my day, of my era, way back when, and he said something that got Charlie Kirk literally trying to fight him. And Cenk wasn't any more innocent. He was charging right through. This became a very big dialogue about communism versus capitalism. So I want to hear, I mean, this is a man that's smarter than myself, talk about why should young people want to be a conservative? Remember, this is a few years back, but let's see if it stands the test of time.
Charlie, tell us from your perspective what you see as some of the biggest issues facing young people today, and then as part of that, why you think young people should be conservatives.
Well, I'd say the biggest issue facing our generation is there's been a bipartisan agreement to continue to spend money we don't have, grow government at the expense of our generation, concentrate power around Washington, D.C. to benefit the wealthy few and the well-connected. And this shouldn't necessarily be a partisan issue, but it does. It becomes. And as we conservatives believe, we believe the bigger the government, the smaller the citizen. As we send more money to Washington, D.C., the IRS gets more powerful, the government bureaucracies get more powerful, and our freedom decreases with that. As we've seen in the last 18 months, what happens when you start to cut taxes and deregulate the economy? The lowest ever black unemployment rate, the lowest ever Hispanic unemployment rate, the highest ever median income amongst the Hispanic community, economic confidence at an all-time high, 4.2% GDP rate, 3.7% unemployment rate. This economy is so great, Obama's trying to take credit for it.
Yeah.
And you can start to see the beginning stages of what happens when you embrace conservative principles and conservative ideas, juxtapose that with the last 8 years, which was mediocrity and apologizing for being American. And it's great that we have a president that believes in the free market, free enterprise system. And I look forward to this discussion with Hassan, as it's always lively and never disappoints.
All right. So Hassan, you can respond to some of those points if you want to, but also tell us what you see as some of the big issues facing young people today, and from your perspective, why you think young people should be progressive.
I think I'm going to take an apolitical approach as well to this conversation, because I like to look at issues and identify what they are and provide what kind of solutions I think are the best possible ones. Currently, the economic system that we're
With him stating that he's taking the apolitical approach, is he saying, oh, I'm going to talk beyond politics and I'm going to speak for the better of humanity? Hassan is just one of the most narcissistic individuals I've ever seen. And he really, truly, like, I guess maybe credit is given here or due, truly believes everything he spouts. But it's so grandiose and so cringy.
living under is inherently exploitative, it's inherently oppressive, and we're now actually feeling the devastating impact of that more than ever. We live in a country where there are 40 million Americans. We live in the wealthiest nation.
Hi, this is Mark Barton at Sandy Hook Promise in Newtown,
Oh.
Connecticut.
And hi, this
To
is
be
Nicole.
honest, remember, I'm
Promise.
still a
And we want
progressive
That is
in
ever
some areas when it comes to how the medical system works here in our country. I think as the wealthiest country, we should be doing so much better. I have unpopular opinions and stances where I know I would be ostracized as a conservative when it comes to, Roe v. Wade, for example. And I don't know. I don't believe that my religious affiliations should have an impact on whether or not I'm, left or right. But it does seem to be synonymous. And this is a challenge I butt heads with quite often when I go around to different channels where I do feel welcome and I am embraced. But often I feel like I can't speak freely about my own personal beliefs because honestly and truly, sadly enough, just like the very big friendship that I had, this girl I was friends with from 1996 stopped being my friend because we used to love debating throughout the years. I guess she just got tired of it and just said we can't be friends anymore. Because why? I'm going to answer because we don't think the same. That was heartbreaking. So I hope that I can continue. And Global News, Lori from Global News, is a positive example of somebody who is very much of the faith that is perfectly able to coexist with me. So that's something that I'm always going to be kind of on the hunt for. So always interested in feedback regarding that. So, okay, back to this man's progressive nature. And yes, I do have an updated video of the unhinged lady who I found her. She made an entire pie chart regarding our very own CFALs and somebody else, and it's an interesting observation into the human psyche and sanity versus insanity. Now,
existed, the wealthiest nation on the planet, and we have 40 million Americans living in poverty. We have 18.5 million Americans living in extreme poverty, according to the latest UN reports. Climate change is happening no matter how hard people try to deny its existence, and its outcomes are devastating, especially for millennials. And this is something that we need to focus on. And unfortunately, every single time we tried to bring about any sort of socialized solutions to these problems, that the
I am actually extremely interested for anybody that watches in the future or currently, whenever, whatever, regarding climate change. That's something that I had myself convinced was one of the biggest issues that we had to face because, it's the world. I no longer really know how I feel. I mean, I think the science is always clear in terms of how dire it will be or how dire it already is. I think we've seen evidence of things, not going great, but I don't know if the government's dictation and or reaction has been the greatest answers. And fossil fuels can't cold turkey that shit, of course. So that's a dialogue when the open panel occurs, possibly this weekend. Uh, I really hope that we can have some conversations where I learn a thing or two.
free market obviously fails to provide solutions for, we get called socialist, and that idea is inherently damaging. We live under a inherently oppressive capitalist dogma, and I'm here to talk about that because I think that at least questioning that and striving to find a better system is exactly what young people should be doing right now.
Right. So inherently oppressive. So small.
Let me propose a question to anybody in the chat here. When it comes, hey, base girl, welcome, darling. Hassan is okay, White Dragon. It's good to know exactly where you stand, okay? Because yeah, he's just cringy as all hell. But when it comes to, when it comes to climate change, where do you guys stand? I'm honestly desperate to know. Do you think that our scientists and or our government should be doing more? Should our citizens, the citizens of the world, be doing more, doing better? Or is it just a huge scare tactic to scare money out of our wallets? Like, what is your position? Please feel free to answer. Remember, I still to this day, I know it's been over a year, go back and read every comment, or feel free to leave the comment after the fact. I really hope to be as educated as possible on a subject that for many years I thought was, and I think still is, really, really important. It's not fashionable for a conservative to talk about climate change, but it's something that I always want to learn more about. So please feel free, don't hold back. When you feel the urge, do talk about it. So let me get back.
Small business owners are oppressing their employees.
Come on, you're hyper focusing on small business, dog. I'm talking about capitalism versus socialism.
Even though 85% of all jobs in this country are created by small businesses, even though
Why are you
this president, poverty rates have gone to the lowest level in the last 65 years.
Okay, remember, this is from 2018 with brick and mortar and how Amazon is right now. I'm sure these statistics have violently changed. I mean, hell, just thinking back not that long ago, Josh owning that smoke shop and being able to be a co-owner, that went away thanks to dear old COVID. Thank you, COVID, for smashing away. God, this was before COVID. This whole debate, these statistics are extremely outdated at this point. Oh, the damage that thing did! Like, just never forget.
Do you want to ask questions? Wait, hold on.
Let me finish. I let you finish, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Let me finish. 3.9 million Americans have gone off food stamps and into the labor force under this president. That should be applauded by everybody. When less people have to go to government for money and for meaning, and they instead are able to go to a job and have a paycheck, that's a good thing. And so the final thing I'll say is this, and you'll find disagreement. Just because someone gets rich does not mean someone gets poor. In order for you to get rich in a free market system, you must have a good idea. You must create value. You must employ people. You probably borrowed money. And you have an 80% chance of that business not succeeding. In a free market, yes, we applaud success, but you must take responsibility for failure. And you have seen in the last 100 years the standard of living increase for all people across the world. Things get better, prices go down, and we are able to enjoy the abundance that only a free market system can create. You know what? I don't have to call you guys socialists. Bernie Sanders calls himself a socialist.
Yeah.
And we should reject socialism.
Yeah, no, we should. Yeah.
Ouch. That hurt my Bernie Sanders feelings from way back when. But he always said democratic socialist, which I believe, what was it? Sweden reached out to him and said, Sweden or the Netherlands said, please stop using that term. You're actually doing harm, because democratic socialism, which is actually a thing, is practiced in that country. And they just have a very good balance of capitalism and socialism. So it's not pure socialism. Hence the invention of this term democratic socialism. And that for the longest time, for many years, is what I would always try to explain to everybody. And looking at that country, remember, extremely homogenous, so much easier to take care of a smaller population. The healthcare there is superior. And it should be an envy of a country like ours. And it makes me sad every day when I see the people that need healthcare that just cannot or don't even have insurance and just have to do nothing but suffer. I know there's plenty of instances where you just gotta pick yourself up by the bootstraps, but in many cases with mental health or when your body is failing you, it's just not enough. So this is where I think I'll forever be progressive when it comes to healthcare in our country. Otherwise, though, I mean, look how far I've gone in terms of looking right wing or being right wing. I still am rooting for Trump, and I think, what was it? It wasn't White Dragon. Maxwell told me yesterday that Vivek exited the race. I did not know that, if that is true, and I will be looking into that. But yeah, as it stands, I do currently identify as conservative. There's just so many things wrong with the left wing, and I feel absolutely 100% chased away from it.
It's very nice of you to immediately launch this accusation that I don't care for small businesses, or small businesses will never exist under a social democracy, kind of similar to small businesses in Nordic countries and with robust economies, but with also a powerful and protective social welfare programs and socialized safety nets. This exists everywhere around the world. All of the comparable Western democratic nations have been able to institute socialist principles, and that's precisely why their people are a lot happier. But then on top of that, what's really important to me is like focusing on the rate of growth and the GDP is great, but you can't answer this one simple question. Who cares what our GDP is if the person who is dying of abject poverty can't heal himself because we don't have a socialized medicine, for example?
So if you want to talk about healthcare solutions, happy to talk about it. You brought up Norway, Sweden, Finland. You would call those socialist countries?
No, I wouldn't call them socialist countries,
Okay,
but they're definitely on a scale.
They're not socialist countries. Don't make that mistake.
Yeah, I said they're social democracies, which would be a...
And I am an advocate for the public option when it comes to medical assistance. That's another thing that I guess still maintains my progressive roots. But yeah, when it comes to the identity politics, the apologetics, and just there's so many easy ways to look at the left in current 2024 that makes it easy to just honestly vilify and hate. And what it's become this day and age is what I look back and have no regrets about not being a part of that anymore.
More socialist country. Okay, look, if we're going to have this conversation, let's
I asked a very simple question.
No, we'll have a consensus on this first. Let me ask you a question, okay? Because this is like really improper framing, and a lot of people confuse socialism.
You said inherently exploitative. You framed the argument.
Oh, with capitalism, yeah, I did.
Okay, so that's...
Yeah.
And I rebutted that. So
how did you rebut that?
By talking about just because
No, by talking about like what, small businesses? It doesn't matter. Every single business
Hassan,
still
let me say one thing.
Every single
Norway,
business.
Sweden, and Finland, according to the World Economic Freedom Index, are ranked higher than the United States of America. That is not socialist. They have less tax. They have lower taxes.
So that means that you can have socialism and yet still have successful businesses in your country. Thank you for proving my point for me.
No,
I love this.
It's the exact opposite. You know what socialist is? Bernie
I don't like the way Hassan argues.
Sanders wants an 80% tax rate on
yeah,
the rich.
Venezuela too, right? Dude, listen.
Bernie Sanders
you won't
wants
let
to
me
keep our fossil
describe
fuel
it.
assets in the
You want me to explain it to you? Because you obviously don't understand it. Do you want me to explain it to
is
you?
Is Cuba not socialist? Is North Korea not socialist? Was Vietnam not socialist? Was Zimbabwe not socialist? You can laugh all you want, Hassan,
okay, do you
but
want
100 million people died under socialism the last 100 years, and you have the gumption to continue.
Okay.
You can keep laughing
Hold on.
to the victims' families from Cuba, from Venezuela, from Korea, from Vietnam, from Mao's China, from Stalin's Russia. The number one killer of citizens, from innocent civilians the last 100 years, has been the very idea that you shamelessly wear on your sleeve every single day. Marxism has killed more people than any other ideology over the last 100 years.
Okay. Thank you for those words.
You're welcome.
When 100 million people die under a communist dictatorship, and some of those millions are also Nazis, which is included there, whatever, you blame communism.
The National Socialist Workers Party.
Or you blame...
You hear how quickly he went over, like, and the Nazis, whatever. As, like, just hiding in plain sight, man. Damn.
You blame socialism, but when 7 million people die every year under our current global capitalist environment, where just by famine alone, before we even talk about imperialism, and before we even talk about the damaging wars that are happening all around the world, then it's the individual. So you're essentially telling every single person that's poor, it's your fault that you're poor, it's your fault that you die under a capitalist system, but if you were under a communist system...
I have never said that.
I mean, that's literally what you're saying.
No, it's not.
So whose fault is it? Whose fault is it that 7 million...
The second time I have seen a liberal literally try to force words in somebody else's mouth. Just like last night with Candace Owens, that freaking liberal talk show host saying, you called me a racist. You called me a racist when she was referring to a tweet to 30 million people. This tactic, I hate to say it, just as Candace Owens said, this is a typical liberal tactic. I mean, here it is practiced again. Some things don't change.
Million people every year die just by famine-related diseases and famine under our current global capitalist structure.
Whose individual fault is it?
Yeah. Why is it with the system when it comes to communism, but it's actually
go from 40 years to 80 years in America for women and 76 years for women.
You're not answering my
Global
question.
poverty is at its all-time low than it ever has been.
But you're not
below 10%.
You're not answering my question. You're not answering. You're talking about
There's
something
not a
completely
singular
different.
person why individuals might die, unfortunately. However, what's going to stop
Oh,
that?
it's unfortunate when they die.
Oh, yes,
okay.
yes, Hassan. Death is unfortunate.
Yeah,
Correct.
I know. I understand. But
How
make
do you
it seem as
solve
though
these
they are
problems?
just a statistic.
How do you solve it? So let's talk about healthcare in particular.
Okay.
Because a common critique of conservatives is that we do not have a plan for healthcare. It's quite simple. First of all, the idea that we do not have socialized medicine or a test case for it in the States is incorrect. The Veterans Administration.
If you say the veterans, oh God,
$180 billion a year
how
we
disgusting.
spend trying to help our
disgusting.
veterans. Hassan, let me finish. $180 billion a year we spend trying to help our veterans, and they wait in line, they die in the clinics, the quality care is unbelievably low. You cannot say that the Veterans Administration is a well-run government agency despite us spending $180 billion a year trying to help our vets.
How disgusting
what's
that
disgusting?
you would send these young men and women overseas to go fight not you. I'm talking about conservatives in general. Just conservatives in general don't mind sending these young men and women overseas to fight imperialist conquests that have nothing to do with protecting America or protecting American sovereignty. Hold on. That's great. That's great. That's just one war, though. We're waging many currently. But then they come back, and the numbers have obviously increased. The number of casualties have increased. The treatment is drastically different than a regular pool of American citizens who aren't in the line of fire. How could you then turn around, not fund?
Couldn't they easily just both agree that with all the money being poured into such a service that we could be doing so much better and kind of agree on that? I think that's where it's heading. All right, so forgive me for this. I want to skip to the part where a fight almost breaks out. And no, this is it's a quiet night. What is it, Friday night? The mood's just right. TGIF. Okay. Let's see the super fun part here. And I still to this day don't know what Sank Uger said to make Charlie Kirk, somebody who I think is pretty known for being, polished, poised, and calm, gets up out of his chair and he's ready to dive into the audience.
Home anytime soon, but that's besides the point. Okay, you're trying to attack me, which is ridiculous. Like asking me what my salary is. Sure, I'll reveal it willingly.
You brought it up in context. I'm asking,
no,
why don't you
hold
live
on,
like a
hold on,
socialist?
hold on.
Go live like a
The point is
socialist.
larger. The point is larger than that, Charlie.
I live like a capitalist every single day,
Hey,
Cenk.
guys.
I live as a
Hey,
capitalist.
hey,
Okay?
hey.
I live when I believe.
No.
What do? I get charity every single year.
Hold on.
What's my salary?
Charlie,
Less than his.
Charlie,
Come on, Cenk, let's go.
Charlie,
What are you doing?
take a seat. Take a seat.
Psycho?
All right, no.
What are
Take
you
a
doing?
seat. You're gonna take a seat. You're gonna take a seat over
Oh
here.
my God.
What's my salary?
All right.
Oh, ridiculous. All right, behave, everyone. Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Okay.
I practice what I preach, Cenk.
Charlie.
You
Stop.
do not practice what you
Stop.
preach.
Charlie.
All right, hold on. Last point.
You don't want to give him the attention here.
Everyone, quiet
35,000 donors
down.
across
Quiet
the
down.
country, my
Last
friend
point.
Cenk.
Last point.
We are funded by the grassroots of this country. You can try to demagogue it all you want.
Okay. Can I finish my point?
Okay,
All right.
so
Less than Hassan's. You
Hold
can
on.
check it yourself.
Hold on.
Sank Uger was somebody that I used to follow and respect. He is like the friggin' devil. Okay, I got no love for that dude. All right, so behold, sorry to take it here, but a little throwback to the lady that is, as I understand it, harassing friends of ours or a friend of mine. I do not encourage and I do not ask that anybody that watches material here that go and bother this woman. She's bothered enough. But let me show you what she's done here. She got like a towel over her camera. This is like supposed to explain why there's why she's trying to hire an attorney or something.
Okay, so there's still 5 of you watching.
Loud.
All right, so the whole chart is in black now. There's no colors on it because I just kind of went from top to bottom. And some people moved way, way, way up to the good side, and some people moved way, way, way down to the bad side. But yeah, I've been redoing this chart or kind of working on it and then like re-scripting it like every couple of weeks because it's just such a confusing picture because people switch teams every day, you know? So yeah, so Rebecca disappeared. Please do the chart and I'd like to hear why people are when we are. Yeah, let me add Rebecca onto the chart. Okay, so let me try to walk over so y'all can see. I think I should be charged up enough at this point where y'all can see. Okay, so all right. So
Holy.
see, it's backwards when I'm looking at it. But like, here's the old chart. Oops. Let's go me.
Wait.
Linens. Okay. So Peaceful Pug, can you put a 1 in the chart if this is visible to you?
Carney, so there's seafowl.
If you're even still here, Peaceful Pug. Oh, 1. Okay, so you can see it. All right, so you see the colored one and then you see the all black one, right?
Bonnie, if you just stop talking about seafowls, he will not be bothering you whatsoever.
So basically, I just I have fewer individuals on there and just more channels or groups of people, right? Okay. So does this kind of make sense? Do you have any? I'll just hold it up here for a while and people can put questions in the chat or whatever, like just about why people are on different parts of the new chart versus the old chart versus the original chart, or why people's names have dropped off of here completely.
All right, so let me show you guys.
If anything jumps out at me, I'll answer it, but I'm not promising any answers to any questions. I'm not, I'm not promising
Don't worry, we're not watching this whole thing. I promise you that.
anything All I'm gonna do is just read my original writings the way they were originally written, in full. Really hard to patronize Perlis. Mama's best were
I don't want to hear
a
that
year
part.
later. Wasn't possibly his, but I guess I always secretly wished she had been.
Nope. there's
Now
nothing.
that I have my Egyptian employers looking into it, it's all good. So yeah, that's all I'm going to tell you about my new job is that I'm working for Egyptians and Lebanese, and they're amazing, and I love them, and they're so sweet, and they're like treating me like a fucking family, which is not how my own family treats me. So I'm good. I'm protected. I'm protected from above and from below.
So, some context, she has accused Seafels of living in Egypt, which was a ongoing joke because it's nonsense. And now she's working with the Egyptians, don't understand the relevance here. Is she trying to infiltrate the whole completely asinine narrative that's where Seafels is? Because I promise you, Bonnie, he's not in Egypt.
Below and from right here on the ground. So anybody who thinks they're gonna fuck with me, fuck off. Bye 5 fuckers. Bye 5 people watching that didn't bother to put anything in the chat. Y'all are fucking on notice. You're on fucking notice. Get off my fucking channel. Leave now. Go the fuck.
Going live and then demanding for people to go away. That's an interesting tactic.
Away. Chat or go the fuck away.
It's better than the whole, hey, donate money or go away. She keeps putting like a tissue over the camera. Such a strange specimen.
Oh,
She had a 10-hour live stream.
hi mod.
That mod is a paid troll. She pays this person.
I got a lot of poems. If you like poems, Ode, Wild Oats, and No Goodbye.
Okay.
I painted.
Okay, good. I'm glad you have side hobbies aside from paranoia, anger, and asking or demanding people to give you money.
It's carnival time.
I'm just gonna give
Completely unnecessary. So that's what my thank you note said. Like, thank you for offering to reduce the shipping charge. That was appreciated, but unnecessary. So, yeah, there's that. Okay. Now forever. Lima could even redeem herself. Lima could come online tomorrow and be like, "Hi, this is my sister Dahlia. This is my sister Dia. This is our mom in the background."
I see some irony. Congrats on the new okay. That's a troll, clearly, with the same name. So Bonnie bought subs and has bought views. Just what an interesting strategy and tactic. And again, Bonnie, if you watch my stuff, because I know, I'm so glad that you enjoyed content that I whatever it is that I do here. Thank you for that. And if you, I don't know, take anything I say seriously, please, I'm trying to appeal to your better nature. You can just leave a lot of this alone and it will just simply stop. It will no longer be an issue. Make it easier for yourself and the people that honestly want nothing more of this to continue. People just want to go back to their lives. And any of the doxing, just please remove that and don't be a part of that. That is illegal and that is harmful for everybody and the platform. You don't want to be responsible for people that get into legitimate trouble because or put them in danger. Okay, hey, ducking felonies. Sorry, this has been really not a typical stream, and I guess, well, what can I say? Because of his background or something, right? Oh, Saffron. Let me give you the context before I about to bounce out of here. That's an individual that is, if you've been watching, I don't know, Seafowls, that person has made it her life's mission to get him put away, and has been doxing him and somebody else that we've all had in our chat that's been kind and given charity and helped out other people in need, given her own money, and she has attacked that person with her every every means, by every means necessary. She's gone after somebody, harassed them, and even tried to get involved in a custody hearing to do harm. There's nothing short of just saying doing harm to somebody's child during a custody hearing. It's low down, it's dirty, and I just wish that that individual that I was just showcasing just steps back and lets it go. She's attempted to reach out to me, but I do not want to engage somebody that is, because I've seen how quickly she turns on people that just mean to help. And it's too easy, and I don't need that energy. I don't need to be dealing with that negativity. I am going to cover her videos if she continues to harass people that I know are innocent. And nobody can really tell me otherwise because I've known these people long enough. I know the contents of their character, and they're simply responding in kind. You can only really mess with, provoke, and try to intimidate people for so long until somebody kind of snaps back. And that's exactly what we're witnessing, and it's deplorable, and it's heartbreaking. You guys have families, you guys have lives. There's so many more positive things that can be done instead of this little war that's occurring, and I'd love to see an end to it. I'd love to felicitate a conversation between all parties, but Bonnie made that clear she did not want to be on at the same time as the others. And last thing I wanted to add, what I originally wanted to do, and I really feel pretty strong about it now more than ever, especially after finishing this very lazy live, I'll call it. And I do have to keep it down again, remember. I wanted to do a whole special about anxiety. Anxiety because it had such an impact on my life growing up, and even still. Anxiety, as I've learned it, is not something you can really hope to conquer entirely. It's something you have to do your best to learn how to cope with. And even though it's so far back in my past when it was something that pretty much dictated my life and how I felt, it's something that very easily leads into very strong depression, manic episodes, and I'm very passionate about uh, well, people that don't let it completely destroy them and end up being stronger and can help others. That is a topic that I do look forward to talking about. So I can tell you throughout the next few days, please look forward to what's up, Pooh, aka DJ Bricks. Many blessings to you, the family. I hope your boy is doing fantastic. I hope your health is doing fantastic equally. You have caught the tail end here, by the way. This has been a very chill stream, not a big deal here. But I can tell you the next few days, this channel is going to be a lot more active, and I'm going to be busting out some more shorts. Remember, the shorts that I do are always going to be focused on a niche, and that is something very powerful. I wish I could learn how to hone it a little better so this channel could benefit a bit more. But again, I suggest that maybe I should be making a secondary channel. But with all that said, all of you, please feel free to email me if you need to, if you want to. I know a lot of you have my phone number. But emailing, I'm going to recommend because it's really hard for me to stay in touch with everybody. That's a mistake I did very early on. And with all the lives that are coming very soon, feel free to have a topic or a concept, bring it with you, or contact me via email, and I will send you the things that I intend to talk about, or we can totally freestyle. Bass Girl, I hope to see you on panel again. I miss you, truly. I found out yesterday I'll be having Sarah. Oh my goodness, Pooh, my man. I really hope that everything is okay, man. You have been struggling. You're a fighter. You're a warrior. I wish you nothing but the best, man. Truly. And that's that. All right. So Saffron, White Dragon, Bass Girl, Pooh, Duckin' Felonies, H Squared. Y'all take care of yourselves. Okay. And ultimately, more than anything, be safe out there. It's a sick, sad, crazy ass world. Take care, y'all.